What is up, guys? Politics Gaming here, and today we are doing a brand new episode of the Federative Republic of Brazil. In the previous episode, I had a couple of questions that I asked, and I also started the process of building infrastructure in Brazil. We are severely depleted in terms of infrastructure spending. If I can look, we are only spending 14.7 billion reais in infrastructure. So we need to really alleviate this situation. We need to spend a lot of money. We're going to do a lot of stimulus spending. We are also going to be investing more into the people of Brazil. We're going to also be going after improving living conditions in the Federative Republic as well. But first thing is first, we need to start the process of doing some stimulus spending in Brazil. We have a 2.61% deficit. We're going to stop ourselves at about 3.25% is the max that I want to go at. But we really need to start the process of building more highways. This is a national security issue that we have in Brazil that needs to be alleviated. We're also going to think about connecting some cities between Brazil and our neighboring countries, such as Argentina. We want to increase economic cooperation with the Argentine Republic, as well as our surrounding nations. The more we can cooperate with our surrounding nations, the more we can, in the background, establish hegemony over South America. I wanted to go ahead and give a quick shout out to Henrik Gustavo. He actually made a comment. He actually answered a question from my previous video. It was Brazil's shattered economy. He said, "You said our real and reais really naturally. Nice job, bro." I know there's actually two different ways that you can say it. There's like a Rio accent, and then there's a northern accent. I believe I'm saying it in the Rio accent. If you guys can actually help me remember what those accents are, that would actually be pretty helpful, so I appreciate it. And then he said, "Your question about fuel taxes, let me explain. I live in Alagoas, a state of Brazil. Here before COVID-19, like 2017, 2018, the fuel price was like 3.5 to 4 reais per liter. And then in this year of 2022, the fuel price was like 7 to 8 reais. And then he acknowledged that the war in Ukraine had this number go up higher. However, even before the war, it was about 6.5 reais. He said, not because of our president, but because of the state's governors. Our president would reduce the fuel tax, the federal fuel tax, to 0% in gas and diesel, etc. But then every time that his federal fuel taxes went down, the governors raised the state fuel taxes. I don't know deeply, but Bolsonaro did something to reduce all state taxes to 17% ICMS, or goods and services tax. There's another way you can say it, but I'm not even going to try to pronounce that out loud. So, but thank you so much, Gustavo, for giving me that insight that actually helps me make these videos. Just like that, we're going to go ahead and return back to the video. We're going to go ahead and come over here. We're going to go over to energy. We're going to go over to construction, and then we're going to look at our fossil production. No. We're looking at energy surplus. So we have a 60 terawatt surplus worth of electricity right now. So we can actually hold off on building another facility. However, actually what I could do is I'm going to go ahead and start the process of building another facility. So we're going to build this in the Minas Gerais region. Gerais region? Am I saying that right? I'm loving trying to pronounce these. You guys are just like, haha, he can't talk. So we're going to go ahead and place that right there. What does that put our deficit at? It actually barely even increases it at all. So that'll be done in 12 months. That can actually help us out in the future. And then let's go over to environment. And then I want to check on something real quick. So deforested and reforested. We are not fully funding yet, but I want to see how this is doing. So we got from 1.33 all the way down to 1.23. We are down 100,000 hectares in deforestation, but we still need to get that under 1 million. If we can get it below the second closest, which is the Democratic Republic of the Congo, that would be perfect. If we can at least cut it in half, that would be perfect. I really want to cut this in half by the time that this series comes to a close. If we can cut it in half, then that will spell a lot better in terms of our future aspirations as a nation. We're going to drop about 6.2 billion reais worth of funding into infrastructure. So we're going to come over here and do that. We have 2.75% of GDP in deficit right now. So we're going to go over to main highways. And then we're going to start the process of building a highway from the north. And I'm going to start with this. So we're going to build this. We're going to do it from Macapa all the way toward. All right, we took a minute by ourselves, and what we got is we now have, so I'm going to try my hardest to say these names correctly. So we have from the northernmost point that we have right now is from Macapa all the way to the Belém. Belém connects down to Imperatriz. God. And then we got all the way down into Palmas. Palmas connects down to Brasilia, kind of sways around these mountains right here. So we don't kind of, go in a straight line. It kind of has a little bit of a figure to it. So Palmas connects all the way down into Brasilia. Brasilia comes down all the way to Uberlandia. Uberlandia comes down to Araraquara. Araraquara goes down to São Carlos. São Carlos goes all the way down to Campinas. And then Campinas goes all the way to Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo then all the way connects to Rio de Janeiro directly. So from now, we do have a direct connection from Rio de Janeiro all the way up to the Atlantic Ocean in the north. So this is a major achievement for Brazil. And if we can actually go over to our deficit, we actually didn't even go over 3%. We only got up to 2.95%. This is a major achievement in which we can fund these highways for Brazil. So next up, we're going to see what the Minister of Transport thinks, and then we'll go on from there. So if you actually look over here to the left, we can see that the Macapa-Belém Highway, it says the regions and cities served by this new freeway are excellent choices and will contribute to the development of their regions for Macapa and Belém. And then Brasilia, Lusania are excellent choices and will contribute to the development of their region. And then the Campinas-Sao Paulo Highway, apparently this one was, it says very judicious choices. There were more important needs elsewhere. So it says, you can already draw some conclusions. First of all, this will boost tourism a little, although our current transportation network allowing access to our tourist attractions is at capacity. Finally, the regions and cities served by this new highway are not very judicious choices. There were more important needs elsewhere. So a lot of the other highways, especially some of the longer highways, these were they kind of said like this doesn't really do a lot for us. I think it also kind of depends on what cities you're connecting it to. So if you're connecting like a very large city, I mean Brasilia has 3 million people to a city with 300,000. It's not going to be that impressive to the Minister of Transport. The reason I do this is mainly so I can connect these cities, mainly that way so I can say, okay, if I want to send troops from Rio de Janeiro all the way up to Palmas, then instead of having to drive all the way through these mountains, these forests, everything like that, they take a really fast route and then just go straight up the highway. And at that, I can, if there's, say, an invasion from Suriname or something like that, then I can say, okay, then I can just send troops really quickly up the highway that I just built instead of waiting for my troops. Sometimes it takes them weeks to cross this expanse of forest and mountains and everything like that. So this will serve the national security interests of the Federative Republic. This is going to be, again, a major achievement for this series. So I'm really glad to have done it. Next up, we're going to go over to taxation. We're going to try to see how we can alleviate some of the costs here. So if we go over to, we're going to be looking on how to pay for this. What I really want to do, I want to alleviate some of the taxes, even though if I can reduce this just a tiny bit. However, it would make sense for me to increase it because of the major investment into transportation that I just did. However, we are not going to do that. Just like Gustavo said, there's too much strain on the Brazilian people over gas prices, over the way that you're supposed to fill up your car's tank on gas. We don't need to be making that situation even worse from the federal government. So we are not going to do that. We're going to instead pay for this through a wealth tax and through financial transaction taxes. This is an indirect tax on the people. However, it helps us get more money. So we need to increase this, and we will see how much money we can fundraise through this. So let's see what the reaction will be. So 56%. We will go ahead and increase it to 0.35%, and then a gun tax. Man, we get so little money off of the gun taxes, probably because everyone's getting the guns illegally. We really need to fight some of this crime in Brazil. What is your guys' thoughts on crime in Brazil? What is the situation really on the ground? I know there's always these memes and everything like that, and all these stereotypes that we always hear. So for my Brazilian watchers that are watching this series, what are you guys' thoughts on the public safety and situation in Brazil? Is Brazil a safe place to go to? Do you guys have issues with crime? What are you guys' stories from Brazil? So in spite of that, we're gonna go ahead, and we have 0 stars to public safety in the Federative Republic. That situation will change. As of right now, we have 15 billion reais that we are going to throw into public safety. We need to get a cap on this near 20 out of 100,000 crimes or homicides per capita in the Federative Republic. We need to come over here, and we're going to look. We are 11 in the world. We are almost top 10. We were actually top 10 not too long ago. So we are going to change the situation right now. We're going to come over here to public safety. We're going to invest 3 stars for right now, 8.9 billion reais worth of funding into public safety. And we're also going to invest in an additional 20,000 manpower in police. So hopefully we don't get any riots because of this, because I always usually see a backlash whenever I invest more into public safety and police. So we will see what the reaction to this is. And we have no reaction as of right now. However, there are apparently protests and sit-ins by some of the cults in Brazil. We have 2 sit-ins or protests right now. We don't really see where they are. We actually have to zoom in, and we actually see this is in Cascavel. So this is a city of 332,000. We have 1 protest right here from the Bureau for Spatial Peoples, which is 4,000 people. And then, where is the second protest? This is all the way up in Imperatriz. This is from the Temple of the Reincarnated Spirit. 4,673 people are a part of this cult. They call them cults, sects. There are all these different kinds of names you can call them. So establish state power with regard to sects. For some, a sect amounts to a dangerous group using mind manipulation techniques on its followers. For others, it is a new religious movement that freely exercises spiritual activity. As such, the illegal approach to sects depends in part on how governments define this word, as well as the reach of the concept of religious freedom. What are you guys' thoughts on these types of groups? Do you think that they're a danger? Do you think that they help? What are you guys' thoughts? We're going to go over to taxation. Our deficit just hit 3%. I'm gonna go ahead and institute a higher wealth tax. We're gonna go ahead and increase it by 0.5%, and we will see that passes by 70%. And then let's go over to businessmen. Let's see. So the left-wing billionaire actually really likes us, but the right-wing billionaire, well, the right-wing billionaire actually likes us. So let's actually meet with the right-wing billionaire and see if we can get him to fund our party a little bit more. We need a little bit more money in order to keep our party operations running. That will actually help us out. When is the next election? 824 days is the next federal election in Brazil. Antonio Silva is at a 100% approval rating. This is really good for Silva. So we'll go to the next day and meet with Eusebio Rodriguez, and we say,
no thanks,
so
my ulcer.
He says, no thanks, my ulcer. Take it, telling me he's radiant. Speak highly of me in public, please. You're definitely the richest and most gorgeous.
Yes.
Ask him if he can fund my party. Definitely. So he's going to be giving us probably a couple million reais, hopefully. 5.21 annual growth in contrast
Here is our growth
with the previous estimate of 4.15. So this is really good. He says this is very good. Our economy is dynamic. So let's go over here and let's go over to currency. Our inflation rate is at 2.32. Our key interest rate is at 3.5. We will keep it at 3.5 since we don't really have that much of an inflationary issue right now. However, if it does go above 3%, we will increase the interest rate to about 7%, in between about 5 to 7%. I'm thinking 5, kind of depends on how fast it's going up. However, a 5% growth rate along with the 2.32% inflation rate, this is a gold mine right here. This is exactly what you want for your economy. If you are operating a country and you have a 2.32% inflation rate, that is the perfect way to have your inflation. That is exactly the number that you want. So we are doing amazing for Brazil right now. So let's go over to housing. We really need to get this housing situation under control. So let's go over here and invest. We're going to do 5 billion reais worth of housing. So 5.2 billion, 55,000. Let's go ahead and throw that money in, and we will reduce. That really doesn't even budget. So we need to do this over time. We're going to probably get over the next 2 years. We're going to try to cut this number in half. Once we really start to get a surplus, we're going to really start to fight the poorly insulated and unsafe housing metric right here. So we are at 37.36% unhealthy housing. That actually went up. Our urbanization rate is actually on its way down right now. So what is our urbanization rate in terms of the rest of the world? We are number 24 in terms of urbanization, and number 1 is Singapore. Oh, I wonder why. So it's like a sardine can into Singapore. During the making of this video, actually, so there's been a lot of things that have been going on in terms of geopolitics right now. So in Taiwan, China is currently conducting military exercises around the nation of Taiwan. Yes, I will use the term nation when referring to Taiwan. Taiwan is an independent country. China has no legal bounds to take Taiwan in any circumstance whatsoever. What are you guys' thoughts on the situation in Taiwan? Do you guys support Taiwan? Do you think Taiwan should belong to China? What are you guys' thoughts on that? In response to Nancy Pelosi visiting Taipei not too long ago at the beginning of August, the Chinese actually launched ballistic missiles from Fujian province, which is right here. Fujian province is the closest region between China and Taiwan, and they launched ballistic missiles from Fujian, about this area right here in Fujian, and they actually had ballistic missiles that were fired from here, went over Taipei and landed in the waters of Japan. So we can actually see it landed almost exactly in this area that I'm pointing out right here. We actually also see that Chinese military vessels and fishing vessels are around the Senkaku Islands over here. I believe there's Senkaku. I think I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, please correct me. But around these islands right here, these are actually disputed between China and Japan. So China not only claims that Taiwan is their own, they are actually claiming that these islands right here are theirs. They also have a lot of different claims, especially over the South China Sea. This is called the Nine Dash Line right here, which China claims as their own. So there's a lot of territorial claims right now under the People's Republic of China. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and go forward a couple of months. We'll see what happens, and we will come over here. Actually, 6.43 million reais was transferred to us by Mr. Rodriguez. So thank you so much, Mr. Billionaire. And billionaire has transferred the money, and thank you. And quarterly unemployment figures still at 10%. That's actually what else we're going to try to fight. We're going to see what kind of actions we can take in this episode to fight unemployment. I will go ahead and go forward about a month, see what happens, and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, and we are back. So we have a message from our Minister of Youth, and at the Paris Summer Olympics, Brazil is on top of the world.
This day will go down in history. Our country has won the most Olympic medals. It's fantastic. We have absolutely dominated the podiums. Our athletes are invincible, and the next generation will be too. And so on for centuries and centuries.
Centuries and centuries, I don't know about that, but we get away with 101 medals in the Paris Olympics. So very big upset for the rest of the world. So that is amazing. Let's actually go over to culture, and we're going to go to movies produced, sports. It's going to be right here. And so, wow, look at that. So Brazil, number of medals at the Summer Olympics 2024. We got 101 medals. So there's no way that I can actually see. Position in the FIFA ranking is number 2. Number of medals, Winter Olympics. So we haven't participated in the Winter Olympics yet. But in the Summer Olympics, wow, look at that. So we got 21 medals in the Summer Olympics of 2020 and 101 medals in the Summer Olympics of 2024. That is an amazing feat for the Federative Republic. We are doing so well in terms of culture and sports. We're only going to do much more and much better in the future. Just like he said, yeah, we're going to be doing this for years and years and years. So let's go over to actually go to football, soccer. We have full funding for that, so that's good. Judo, karate, windsurfing, rugby, budgets. Let's go over to grassroots sport. Oh god, I only want to spend maybe a couple $100 million. I don't want to spend that much. 750. So let's do 1 star, 1 star, 2 stars here. Development of university sport, development of sport in schools, and then a national youth movement. So let's go ahead and do that. 1.2 billion reais worth of funding to sports once again, and we will be able to do so much more in the future. So let's go ahead and look at Argentina. Let's go over here and let's look. So we have a 38 point rating with economics with Brazil or Argentina, and a strategic agreement or strategic alignment of 25 points with them. So they are 19 in terms of perfect democracy. So they're just over the line of a dictatorship in the eyes of the game. So that's kind of unfortunate. If we can actually get a center-right or a right-wing government in Argentina, that's going to do so much more for what we're looking for in terms of establishing a military kind of like political agreement in South America in terms of foreign policy. We're still trying to kind of get the seeds of our foreign policy going, but we are still on the way toward that. That's going to take a couple of years in game. Actually, good news if you guys are watching this far into the episode. Good news on the political ideology tutorials. So I wanted to get this episode out before I made the political ideology video, and that's exactly what's going on. So with the political ideology video, we do see now that essentially I have the script done. I've worked with Rangoon, and I went through it, and we finally finished the script last night at the recording of this video on August 9th, and finally I will be able to start actual work on the video. All I have to do is make voiceover work and edit it, and then once it's edited, then I just render it, post it to YouTube, and you guys are free to enjoy it. So Do look forward to the political ideology video. We'll have it out within the coming weeks, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, I know it's a long-awaited video of mine, so I know it's going to get very popular very fast. Can't wait to release it because I know you guys are eagerly awaiting for tutorials like political ideology, like economic tutorial, etc. So, thank you guys so much for the support that you give to this channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not. I want to reach 10,000 subscribers. Can we reach 10,000 by the end of this year? I don't know. But we are at 6,000, and I actually reached 6,000 subscribers pretty quickly after getting to 5,000. So I didn't expect it to get so many subscribers within a short amount of time. There was actually like a 90-day span in which I got 500 subscribers, which that is the fastest period of growth in my channel's history ever. So there's only going to be more subscribers, more people interested in these types of games in the future. So if you guys want to help me get out there, share my channel, share my videos. I want more subscribers. I'll need more subscribers. I know you guys enjoy this content. I can't do it without you guys. So the more subscribers I get, the more time I'll be able to dedicate to games like this and to making content for you guys that you guys so much enjoy. All right, so we do see that we have a pretty good economic relationship with Argentina. We have a 47-point economic relationship with Argentina, between Brazil and Argentina. It's between -100 very bad and positive 100 very good. We're at a positive 47, so let's go ahead and come over here. So we just started to give them some aid. We gave them about 2.0 billion reais worth of funding per year, and I actually didn't even think about that. So let's go ahead and give them 2.5 billion reais per year, and that will actually help us improve our relationship with them and see if that turns them into a dark green. It does not. However, we're at a 49-point relationship. So let's go ahead and again increase this. We're going to go for 3 billion reais with Argentina. And so let's see what that does. Can it go for dark green on Argentina? It does not, but I do think, yeah, we have a 51 with Argentina. So let's go ahead and come over here. Let's go over to free trade, and let's assign one individual free trade agreement with Argentina. So let's go over here, Global Economic Treaty. If we can get Argentina to sign this free trade agreement, this will be a milestone in terms of our foreign policy. This will be the greatest foreign policy achievement as of yet. So the moment we can get this signed, the more we can start advancing toward a closer security relationship between Argentina and Brazil. Even though they have a left-wing government, if we had a right-wing government in Argentina, we can actually probably get this done a little bit faster. However, it does actually require some action on our part. If you guys enjoy this series, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share my channel so I can get more subscribers. So let's go ahead and continue until we see what the answer from Argentina is. And we do see right here, the president of Argentina, Antonio Hernandez, has accepted our free trade agreement between the Federative Republic of Brazil and the Argentine Republic. This is a global economic treaty. Affected sectors are anything with a quota on certain products considered strategic by the partner. Tariffs are greatly reduced between the two nations as of 80%. Border control is very light. Regulations is compliance of security and health regulations imposed by the partner for incoming products. We have access to the member's public market, and we do have the recognition of country of origin labeled by the partner. This was signed September 5th, 2024, and this is an achievement. This is the best foreign policy achievement as of yet in this series. Go ahead and smash that like button for Argentina. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say something cringy like that. But in jokes aside, this is an achievement. Just like I said a few minutes before, this is something that we have been driving toward to getting to the two largest economies in South America to come together and form a trade pact. The moment we can start getting these trade pacts off the ground with places like Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, even the smaller countries like Bolivia, Uruguay, and the North and Suriname, The moment we can start getting these free trade agreements off the ground with these countries, the better it will be for our foreign policy. The closer we can get South America together, we need to start forming these international organizations. We need to start signing free trade agreements. We need to bring South America together, and that is the first stone that we just toppled just now in the Federative Republic of Brazil series. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on for a little bit more before we close out this episode. So, but again, that is amazing to see that we just signed a free trade agreement with Argentina. This will only increase relations with Argentina even more. Then we can kind of like, lax back those reais that we gave them and to kind of bribe them into it. Chile isn't going to be another challenge for me. 18 million people, 1.7 trillion reais of GDP. They are a communist country, so that is going to be a challenge for us to kind of get them on our side, because we can't really cooperate with a lot of communist governments. So we're going to have to kind of try our hand into getting another power into place. So we're going to actually come over here to Secret Service. We're going to go over to Exterior. We're going to go to Manage Networks. We're going to go over here and Chile. Don't tell me I'm ignoring Chile right now in Secret Service. I have been. Wow, I'm an idiot. Let's do 80 here. And we're going to do manipulation of social media. We're going to do political spying, and we're going to do approach of political groups. So we're going to do the United Republic movement in Chile, and then they actually have a pretty sizable party. They're actually the largest party in the Chilean parliament. So we're going to go ahead and support that party right here. It does look like that they're actually on a downturn in terms of popularity for the current administration, and they have about 442 days before the next elections. So we're also going to do some cyber attack preparation as well, get their passwords, everything like that. So let's go ahead and hit OK and confirm those details. And let's go over here, and Chile is the #1 country that we want to concentrate on here. So let's go over here, and we can actually see that our deficit is 1.92%, which is really, really good in terms of what we wanted our deficit to be by the end of this episode. There are riots all across the nation of the Republic of Colombia right now. I don't know why, but you can see that there are just riots galore right now in almost every single city of Colombia. This is what is going on in Colombia right now. So we have a newspaper that's about to come out. I'm going to read this newspaper to try to see what's going on in Colombia. So we see that there is still more riots happening right now, and we will see commercial treaty signed between Brazil and Argentina. The two parties reached an agreement late in the evening and then popped champagne. It must be said that this treaty is very extensive and offers a lot of commercial opportunities and thus great hopes for economic benefits. So again, this commercial treaty is an achievement between the two nations in South America. Again, that is a very, very big thing that I wanted to do by the end of this episode. The acid challenge, Jesus Christ. We actually see economic treaty between Brazil and Argentina. This is a bad agreement. Our partner country is too powerful. It will break us by imposing their fruit products or other goods and kill our small manufacturers, declared the Brazil Union Federation's leader, Pedro Janangas. I'm probably saying that wrong. Let's go to the next, and let's see what's going on in Colombia. Significant increase in the number of people living in poverty, under the poverty line, 21% according to the latest report of the Observatory on Poverty. So it's probably because of a major increase in the poverty line in Colombia, and it just sparked mass riots all across the country. I mean, it looks like there's a civil war about to take place right now. Universities are overcrowded in Gibraltar. Riots are taking place because of the strong increase in the poverty line that just took place in Colombia. So it's up to the Colombian government to maybe schedule new elections or something like that. Do we actually have any sort of networking in Colombia right now? So Colombia, we have approach political groups. We could actually take a look at that. Look at that. Their approval rating just tanked. That is a bad situation for the Republic. That is we're probably going to take advantage of this situation. So we have approachment of political groups: Liberal Democratic Party in Colombia, 0% approval for the president of Colombia, and there's probably going to be some elections that are going to be coming soon. He's been in power 270 days. Sometimes that is the magic number. It's a lucky number, could be an unlucky number, but this is unfortunately an unlucky number for Vicente Gita in Colombia.
The theory that says if
And we do see that we have the opportunity to fund the Liberal Democratic Party in Colombia. We're going to go ahead and again take control of the take advantage of the political instability in Colombia, and we're going to institute our own government. We're also going to be launching a cyber attack against them, possibly. So we're going to do this meeting with the Liberal Democratic Party.
I'm listening carefully.
We're going to do 5 million reais.
Thank you for your
of funding for the Liberal Democratic Party in Colombia. All right, so in this episode, we made a lot of strides in getting Brazil on its feet again. We've been going through so many years of political corruption, of crime, of just political instability, and even economic instability, and we are on track to getting over that in the next couple of years. So let's go ahead and go through a couple of accomplishments that we made in this episode. So the first one is a transnational highway. This highway transited the state of Amapá all the way through Para to Brasilia, and then all the way down to the state of Sao Paulo, and then also connects down to the state of Rio de Janeiro. So there are a lot of accomplishments that we made in order of connecting Brazil from northern Brazil all the way down to the main cities in the south. We are going to take some time in the next episode and build more highways, which will serve more disaffected states that have been unable to connect themselves in previous years. So we are going to do a lot more in improving the infrastructure situation in Brazil. As well, we are doing a lot in order to keep the deficit down. So in this episode, we did achieve our goal of getting the deficit under 2% of GDP. So that is a major accomplishment in economic terms, in which we are keeping our deficit down, and then as well in economic terms, we are achieving low inflation. We have a inflation rate of under around 2%. So that is amazing that our inflation is able to be stable during this period of economic expansion. Other accomplishments that we made is that we are number 1 in the 2024 Paris Olympics. We did not expect to get so high in the list. However, this is a major accomplishment in terms of how Brazil conducts itself on the international stage. And we are going to go into the 2026 and 2028 Olympics with even more confidence than we have in previous Olympics. Maybe we will host the Olympics again in the future. And then finally, the biggest achievement of them all, the crown jewel of this episode, is the Argentina-Brazil free trade agreement. This will serve as a basis in order to kind of supersede what Mercosur actually wants to achieve. Mercosur actually wanted to achieve more of a EU-like structure in Brazil. However, because of previous administrations all across Brazil, how different culturally South America is, Mercosur didn't really achieve much, except, in some ways it has a unified license plate down in South America. However, Mercosur has not been able to do much in terms of advancing South America on the geopolitical and international stage. So this free trade agreement will especially get us that delicious Argentinian wine. As well, it will also advance diplomatic, economic, and even military relations between Argentina and Brazil. In the next episode, we are going to be doing a lot more to advance our goals. So go ahead and look forward to that episode. Also look forward to that political ideologies tutorial, which should be coming out very soon, so look forward to that. If you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys want to see more Brazil episodes, go ahead and comment down below what you want to see in these episodes. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me, and take care.